All right, guys, welcome back. So just a full disclosure, I am not an affiliate of Kinesis in any way, shape, or form. I'm not selling their products or recommending the products in any way, shape, or form. This is simply an opinion piece on this particular project. As always, you need to be doing your own due diligence if you're looking to invest with a certain company. So I had a lot of requests to do a scam or legit review on Kinesis, and that's exactly what I just did. So Kinesis is a revolutionary monetary system based one-to-one on allocated physical gold and silver. So in other words, it's a stable coin. So they've created this Kinesis token, well, two tokens, one being allocated to gold and the other one allocated to an underlying asset being silver, right? That is the one aspect of this particular initiative. The other aspect of this particular initiative is you actually earn yields on top of your gold and silver, and you actually get paid out in your digital stablecoins of gold and silver, which I thought was really cool. And I really do like the play on silver, which is quite nice. It would be pretty awesome if they had platinum in here as well. That would be pretty nice. So I'm going through their website, going down, I see they're located in Brisbane, Buenos Aires, Hong Kong, Johannesburg, London, Madrid, and New York. So they do have quite a bit of an international presence, which is quite nice to see. However, when going down here, yes, their company is registered in the Cayman Islands. However, there's something missing here for me, and that is they are not registered with any financial authorities around the world. However, there is a savings grace for the time being, but this is a sticking point. They are a division of a company called ABX, Allocated Bullion Exchange. And this particular company is the world's leading electronic institutional exchange for allocated physical precious metal. So Kinesis was spawned out of ABX as a division, as its own entity, but obviously falling under the group of ABX itself. But nonetheless, Kinesis being its own entity still needs to have its own regulatory license from financial authorities around the world, particularly if they are going to be operating in Australia, in South America, Hong Kong, in the Asian markets, South Africa, UK, and Europe and America, particularly America as well. So it is a bit of a sticking point. So this does give me a little bit of hope that, ABX is being regulated and oversight by the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. So it's nice to see that the parent company is actually regulated. If we go here, this is their memorandum, and you've got to pay attention to this. You actually do need to read this because it does highlight all of their risks associated to investing with this company. So I really like the transparency of this particular company. But if you have a look here, we may not receive regulatory approval in the various jurisdictions in which we plan to operate our business. We are seeking or plan to seek registration with the SEC and the FINRA and various other regulatory bodies, both in US, federal states levels, and also in other countries. Okay, so they don't have that. I hope that they are pursuing it, and it would be nice that they keep the community updated on a regular basis, how far they've been, have they been in contact, how far they're in the processes. And unfortunately, nowhere did I see, in terms of their news, their blogs, if we go over here, I didn't see much of the update at all. So I would hope that they put in regular updates at least, because for me that's quite a concern, because it would be nice to know who have they contacted, how far are they in the process itself. So I'm hoping that they will eventually be a little bit more forthcoming with the information. However, having said that, we need to have a look at the team, what is actually driving Kinesis itself. And this is actually very impressive. I mean, if we have a look at the executive team, we'll get into this particular gentleman in a bit. But, I mean, I did pick random people as well. But we've got Michael Coughlin is the Chief Financial Officer of Allocated Billion Exchange. Okay, so he's tertiary accountancy education was completed at the University of Southern Queensland. So he's got a bit of economics degree. He's been in the business, particularly with commodities itself for quite some time. So he got a bit of pedigree, and I really do like the pedigrees that is actually here. Oh, let me also go over here, have a look at some of the other guys. This guy is also of some interest, and we'll cover him, and particularly this guy, we'll cover them as well. But it's a very nice team that they've actually put together. This particular gentleman, he's more like a motivational speaker, part of their leadership team. He's based in the US, and he's pretty much like a Tony Robertson type of a dude itself. So this quite a well-known personality in the US. This particular gentleman is South African, and a couple of other people here. We have a look down. So they've also got a nice advisory board, particularly this guy. We'll also jump into him in a bit. But they've got a nice team itself. So I quite like what I saw here. This is very cool. So if we go into the CEO, this particular gentleman, Thomas Coughlin, and we go over here, and we have a look at his resume in a sense. So I'll go a little bit down. So he was the CEO of Allocated Billion Exchange. As you can see the connection, they obviously moved him into this new particular division to help spearhead that globally itself. So from about Financial Corp, so call it about really about 2007 all the way up until today. I mean, this particular gentleman has been involved in the financial sector, in the financial world, and from institutes, and has also got quite a bit of experience in commodity securities. So he does come with a bit of pedigree, a bit of expert knowledge in this particular field. And this I really like to see. So I was very pleased to see that. This particular gentleman, Richard Melbourne, the Chief Operating Officer at Allocated Billion Exchange. This was very cool to see. Board member, non-executive director of the Association of Securities and Derivatives Advisors for Australia. Very good pedigree. This is excellent pedigree. This is telling me that this is an expert that you're potentially dealing with. So I really like to have seen that, which is really cool. And again, sitting as Chief Operating Officer at Allocated Billion Exchange. So again, really nice pedigree. Been in the industry for quite some time. 2010 itself in the financial world. So good pedigree. I really like this to see that. Another gentleman, one of their actual directors, is Andrew Mcguire, and he's British. So Andrew Mcguire is a British commodities trader and whistleblower. He presented evidence to the United States regulators alleging that fraud had been committed. In fact, it's on Wiki, and I'll just pull this up. And on the 29th of March 2010, he was interviewed on the radio with Gold Antitrust Action Committee board member Adrian Douglas. He went public in April 2010 with assertions of market manipulation by JP Morgan Chase and HSBC of the gold and silver markets. Now, we all know that JP Morgan Chase is manipulating the silver market. It's pretty much a given. So that was pretty cool to see this type of caliber coming into the picture. The other gentleman who sits as one of the advisory board members. He has quite a conglomerate company called Al Hoptor Group, and which was grown in the United Arab Emirates, and they've got hotels, I believe, schools, and a whole bunch of things under their belts, and pretty much worldwide itself. Predominantly hotels. So if we have a look here overseas, hotel, Intercontinental, Ritz. I mean, this guy loves his hotels itself. So the point that I want to get to by having a look at all of these members is, firstly, if we go down here, this particular advisory board, this is telling me that there's money backing this particular project, that this particular project is not going to just disappear the next day. There is money back in this particular project, and there's a lot of confidence from my side in terms of the credibility with the actors here. They are running a really good ship. I mean, these are people that are highly experienced in trading and commodities, sitting on, advisory boards and, of regulatory bodies. I mean, this is things that I really like. This is caliber at the end of the day. So I really like to see that. If we have a look again on YouTube, they've got the Kinesis website. It's very nice. It's regularly updated. I see the last one was about a week ago, and they do tend to keep this updated. I really like their videos, I'll be honest with you. And they pretty much keep this up to date. So they got a fantastic digital footprint. As you can see, they are on LinkedIn. They are on Twitter. They're on YouTube. So they're not hiding or, putting up fake personas or anything like that. I mean, you're dealing with legitimate people at the end of the day that's trying to create a good presence of themselves. The other aspect is, if we have a look on their security side and their auditing, they are audited by a independent third party, which is the Bureau Veritas. They're pretty much well known. Even in my country, we've got them. They're pretty big. So I was pretty pleased to see that. I mean, these two companies are, I wouldn't say independent, obviously. This is more kind of like internal, if I can put it that way. There is a connection between Bullion Capital and ABX. I'm not going to go into it, but the CEO of this particular company was actually the CEO of Bullion Capital, CEO of that, so now, Kinesis. But it was really good to see that the Bureau Veritas is one of their independent auditors itself. And I actually had a look at their audit reports, and they do publish their audit reports on their website, so you don't need to go to third parties to try and hunt this report down. And I did like it, to be honest with you. If we go down, it's fully in depth. It's a really, really nice laid out audit report, accounting for all the goals around the world that they're holding or keeping safe itself. So it's a really fantastic audit report. So I can't fault this. I love to see this. So very nice transparency. This is some of their case studies that they've done, particularly with Indonesia. They seem to have worked alongside, or they're in partnership with one of the Indonesian state companies, which is their post office itself. I did pull it up if we have a look here. So, case study, public-private partnership. So, mobilizing innovative technology to address implementation of sustainable development goals. So, this has to do with their mobile app as well, and then bringing people into their ecosystem to hold gold and silver. But they've pretty much gone in partnership with the post office to develop a case study here. As you can see, the Indonesian state-run postal service, the PPP, is commencing with landmark nationwide integration of payments and savings solutions. So I can see why they've actually teamed up, because they are providing these type of solutions to these companies, or to these particular governments. And there's no real updates that I could see with regards to this initiative or how well it's doing itself. So again, it would be really cool if they could have that in their news updates itself. I had a look at their referral program. So refer a friend, bring on employees or customers to receive a share of transactional fees for life whenever they spend Kinesis. So I want to play this particular video, and I want to just, I think it's stuck over here.
Into the system of using real money once again. By becoming a referrer, it simply means that you refer an individual or business to use Kinesis. Let's say Jamal refers 5 people, and each of those people opens a Kinesis account. Each of the individuals that use Kinesis will have a total monthly spend. 7.5% of all the transaction fees accumulated from the spending of Jamal's referees will be paid back to Jamal at the end of each month in KAU or KAG for as long as his referees are active. This is not a multi-level tiered structure. It's a flat structure, just like any other referral program.
I love it. I love it. The fact that they're not an MLM, if they were an MLM, plus they, not being registered with any financial authority around the world, I would have actually just blatantly said this run far away. But the fact that they're not an MLM, and I would love to have a interview with these people, and this also just picked their brain why they didn't go for an MLM model and they just went for the flat model. I'm glad they went for the flat model. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of the MLM model at all. It will have hurt their brand itself, but I would like to pick their brains and what their decision was on it. So that was a good plus for me itself. Like I said, the only issue that I have with this entire project is that they're not financially regulated with any of the financial authorities around the world. They are going to need to be. The last thing that you want, and they do mention it in the memorandum, they do understand this. The entire point of having these financial institutes being regulated by them is that they monitor, they check that you are going to do what you say you're going to do. Okay, that gives a level of security for any form of investor. Okay, particularly when you're dealing with gold and silver. I can go and buy gold and silver at a bullion shop itself without any third-party counter risks. Okay, what they're doing is this particular company, Kinesis, is a third party, and there is a counter risk here for not being regulated. Okay, if they get that sorted out, then they've eliminated that third-party counter risk, even though they are third party itself. And the last thing that you want, because it will damage their brand and will damage their business if they don't get regulated, because you'll start getting warnings from the likes of the South African FSCA, from the SEC in America, Canada, also particularly in Australia. And that's the last thing that you want for your brand, because when you start getting warnings coming out of these financial institutes, you may as well just close your door. You've literally going to have such a huge uphill battle in terms of confidence with anybody coming into this particular company. So what is my verdict here? Kinesis is definitely not a scam. They are ticking all the right box. However, like I just explained, they just got to sort out the financial regulatory side of things for this company. If they do that, I'll be more than happy to endorse this product. In fact, I'll be even more than happy to even invest. I really like the silver, and I'd love to earn yields on silver. So I will definitely be keeping a close eye on this. They are definitely not a scam, but there is one red flag, and they've got to address that itself. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Go check them out. Please go do your own due diligence. Please go read their memorandum. It's there for a reason. Go check it out. They list all of the risks concerned and weigh that against the potential of the project. Have a look at the caliber of these people. If you are going to invest in this particular company, my best advice, in my opinion, that I would give you is that you only allocate 2% of your portfolio that is dedicated to commodities. So if you've got 10% of your entire portfolio dedicated to commodities, only use 2% of that to look at investing in this company itself. That way you're protecting any major risks and not being hit hard itself. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and peace out.